Welcome to Counseling Services at Green River College. We're so glad you're here. We offer free personal counseling to all students enrolled at Green River College and residing in Washington State. Students come to counseling for all sorts of reasons, such as stress, relationship problems, academics, financial concerns, and feelings of sadness and worry. If you have a problem that makes you feel stressed or worried and is taking your focus away from your job as a student, that's a good enough reason to come to counseling. Our mission is to foster student success and retention by teaching emotional coping techniques, educating students on relevant health and wellness topics, and developing effective self-care skills for optimal lifelong psychological health.
Let's break it down a little bit. Academic advisors are experts who provide students with academic, career, and transfer support. In other words, they can help you identify your goals, identify appropriate moves to reach that goal, and create an academic plan for each step. Counselors, although some can help with advising students, especially when it comes to personal development and career exploration, serve in a different function. Counselors are people who we can make an appointment with if you're experiencing emotional or mental health concerns. Here at Green River College, we have 4 master and doctoral level counselors to assist you. Typically, when a student meets with a counselor, they always seem to assess their unique needs and provide recommendations for further care if needed. Examples include anything presenting as a barrier, preventing you from performing well in school or accomplishing your academic goals.
That myth is false. It is true that some people who have severe mental illnesses work with counselors to manage symptoms, but counselors also help people work through everyday problems, like relationship issues, sadness, grief, or career transitions. In the same way people may visit doctors when they are sick, they might want a checkup or have tests with advice. Good therapists listen to us without judgment and teach us how to solve problems in a healthy way and with a happier life.
This is a very complex myth that circulates the minds of Black and brown students. The idea that counseling is for white people stems from 73% of counselors or therapists in the US being white. In addition, many of the approaches in the mental health field are rooted in racism and cultural bias towards certain communities. Due to systemic racism, racial inequality, income inequality, Black and brown communities are more likely to have feelings of sadness, hopelessness, or excessive worry about the future and overwhelming stress. Counseling is an effective tool in addressing mental and emotional distress. It can help one build strong relationships and improve overall well-being. Having an empathic, well-informed, culturally sensitive counselor who shares or understands your lived experience helps in making mental health support more inclusive to everyone.
Yes, therapy does involve a financial commitment, and yes, it can be costly. The average appointment can cost around $100 an hour. However, as a student at Green River College, you have access to counseling services for free. Student support services are already covered in your tuition. There are no out-of-pocket expenses.
Your first counseling session will last 75 minutes, so that your counselor has enough time to talk to you about the counseling process. Your counselor will ask questions to learn more about you, and together you'll begin exploring your goals. After the first intake session, you can have 7 additional 50-minute sessions with a counselor. Many students find that they can make a lot of progress during this time, especially if they're able to practice the skills they learn in their lives. Some problems are beyond the scope of 7 sessions, and students may choose to begin long-term counseling in the community.
A counselor is very different than your best friend. Social supports from your friends and family is definitely invaluable. The ones closest to you know you the best. They provide encouragement, strong support, and pass on wisdom as well. However, counselors have spent years educating themselves and are professionally trained to work with students on emotional, mental, and relational challenges. In addition, friendships are reciprocal. Friends go back and forth discussing each other's issues. In a counseling session, the focus is on the student only. Counselors are also ethically trained to avoid dual relationships and cannot see students outside of the office. Why not give one of our counselors a try and set yourself up to have more fun the next time you see your friends?